Hello students, in this video we will see the solution of question number 2 from dissolution chapter. Okay, so before we start this solution, um, have a look at the question. Okay, so just look at the question at balance sheet. Okay, do not look at the adjustment. Okay, so first look at the balance sheet. Okay, uh, have a look at the balance sheet. Now, okay, let us start with the liabilities side. Now have a look at the liabilities side. Now in the liabilities side, there are two items, sundry creditors and capital accounts. And in the previous video, I have already mentioned that capital accounts will not come in the realization account. Okay, so only one item will appear in the credit side from liabilities side. That is your sundry creditors. Okay, and sundry creditors is of amount how much? 1,82,000. So write down here by sundry creditors 1,82,000. Okay, write this amount. Now go to assets column. Okay, so now in the asset column you have cash at bank in the beginning. So cash at bank will not come. Okay, cash or bank will never appear in the realization account from balance sheet. Okay, so sundry debtors, stock in trade, fixtures and fittings, plant and machinery, land and building. Okay, so capital account will not appear because in previous video, again I want to mention the previous video, I have already mentioned that capital account, be it in asset side or liability side, never appears in the realization account. So sundry debtors, stock in trade, fixtures and fittings, plant and machinery and land and building will appear. Okay, so sundry debtors, stock in trade, fixtures and fittings, plant and machinery and land and building are taken from balance sheet. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 items in the debit side. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5 items. Okay, so write these items first. Okay, towards the debit side, and in the credit side we already have sundry creditors. Okay, now go to question one more time and have a look at the adjustment. Okay, so what is written here? Assets realized. Okay, so now first it is land and building. Now land and building is realized for rupees 1 lakh. Write the amount here, 1 lakh. Okay, after that we have plant and machinery, 2,50,000. Okay, sundry debtors, 1,21,000. Okay, stock, 47,000. Okay, after that furniture and fittings, or oh sorry, fixtures and fittings. Okay, sorry, it is for fixtures and fittings. Okay, not furniture and fittings. Anyway, so now find the total. Total will be how much? 5,27,200. Okay, write the amount here. Okay, so regarding sundry creditors, okay, nothing has been mentioned here. So as we all know that if nothing is mentioned about uh, the payment of liability or the realization amount of any asset, it will be paid or realized in the full value or the full amount. Hence, sundry creditors will be paid in full amount to bank account. Creditors paid off 1,82,000. Because question has not mentioned about sundry creditors, so it will be assumed that sundry creditors are paid in full. Okay, so write 1,82,000 in bracket. You can write creditors paid off. Okay, and we have expenses of dissolution. Okay, so realizing of these assets and liabilities, the expenses were incurred. So expenses were paid by the firm. Okay, from the firm's account it was paid. So we will write to bank account bracket realization expenses 3,600. Okay, so now find the total. Okay, find total first. Okay, which side will be more? Okay, you have to look the total amount. Okay, it can be the this credit side total also, or it can be debit side total also. Whichever is the higher amount, write it as total. Okay, so in this case we have the debit side total is more, okay, which is 7,77,600. Okay, so the difference or the balance is appearing in the credit column or credit side. Okay, now this balance which is appearing in the credit side is your loss on realization. Okay, so instead of writing by loss on realization, we can write by partner's capital account also. I want to repeat one more time. Instead of writing by loss on realization or profit on realization, we can write partner's capital account also. Okay, we have done this since uh, uh, this admission of partner. Okay, so I hope you know that thing. Okay, profit on realization or like profit on revaluation or loss on revaluation. Similarly, we can write by loss on realization or partner's capital account. Okay, now this loss 68,400 will be shared between X, Y, and Z as per their profit sharing ratio, which is mentioned in question, and that is your 5:3:2. Okay, so this 68,400 should be shared between X, Y, and Z as per their ratio, that is 5:3:2. So share the amount. Okay, now after the preparation of realization account, now we will move on to partners capital account. Okay, so here in partners capital account, look at the liability side of your balance sheet. We have the balances of X and Y, okay, given as 3,30,000 and 1,30,000. Okay, so write the amount for X and Y respectively, and have a look at the asset column of your balance sheet. There you can see the balance of Z's capital. Okay, and that is your debit balance. So it is 32,000, and we write in the debit column. Okay, and to balance sheet. Okay. Now after that, there is no more adjustment. Okay, so simply write this loss on realization, whatever it has appeared here. Okay, so this item will appear in the debit column of your partner's capital account. Okay, so write to loss on realization. Okay, write the amount. So for Z, debit side will be more. Okay, because in the credit side there is nothing. Okay, so we write total 45,680. Here also 45,680. Okay, and here again we have to write 45,680 rupees, but instead of the case we have to write by bank, which means Z is bringing in the cash. Okay, when the firm dissolves. Okay, so now for X and Y, we write the totals as 3,30,000 and 1,30,000 respectively for X and Y. Okay, so now find the difference, and the difference will be 2,95,300 and 1,09,480 for X and Y respectively. So this will be treated as the final payment, and we write to bank account. Okay, instead of writing to balance CD, we write to bank account. Why? Because this is the case of dissolution of a partnership firm, which means the partnership firm has come to an end and it will no longer exist. Okay, so this is the end, and we make the final payment to partners. Okay, so sometimes what happens is that in time of dissolution, partners may have to bring in the cash. Okay, and they may get the amount of cash from the partnership firm. Okay, so sometimes they have to bring in, and sometimes they have to be paid back. Okay, so after that we prepare bank account, and remember, this bank account, it acts like a balance sheet. Okay, so the total of both debit side and credit side, it has to match. Okay, so it acts like balance sheet. So we already know how to prepare bank account. We have already done this cash book in class 11, so we know this. To balance BD. Okay, so have a look at the balance sheet. Cash at bank 18,000, so write the amount to balance BD 18,000. Okay, now have a look at the realization account. We can see here in the realization account towards the credit side, it is written by bank account assets realized. How much is the amount? 5,27,200. So this will come here in the debit side of your bank. Okay, because bank is a real account. Okay, debit what comes in, credit what goes out. So debit side is the plus side, whereas credit side is the negative side or minus side. So we write to realization account assets realized 5,27,200. Okay, and in the partners capital account, we saw that Z is supposed to bring in 45,680 rupees. So we write again in the debit side, okay, this bank account, 45,680 to Z's capital account. You can write here in the bracket amount brought in by Z. Okay, you can write that way. So now let us go to realization account one more time. Now check in the debit side if bank is written. Yes, here it is. To bank account, creditors paid off 1,82,000. To bank account, realization expenses 3,600. So you can write here the same amounts, okay, 1,82,000 and 3,600 for creditors paid off and realization expenses respectively for these things, okay. And finally, in the partners capital account, we can see here for X and Y we have made the final payment of these amounts, okay, and write the same here, okay. And now the total of both debit side and credit side will be same, 5,90,880 for debit side and 5,90,880 for credit side, okay. So this is how in case of dissolution of partnership firm, cash or bank account, it acts like a balance sheet, okay. So prepare this very nicely, and for the first time it may be a little bit absurd, and it may be very confusing, but this is very simple, and this is the most easiest chapter in partnership accounting. Okay,